Good afternoon, lovely viewers of Ocean One TV. It's yet another Saturday afternoon, and we come your way with the best kids program. And to do the book reading with me, I have my lovely children from Smarties Montessori. Without wasting much time, I'll call them to introduce themselves.
My name is Rita Inshaba Iusi Ampa.
Next.
My name is Hannah CVP.
Yes.
My name is Nanapa Sankuma.
Wow. They have interesting names, and I hope the program will also be as interesting as their name is. I, the host of the program, my name is Benjamin Edusam. Thank you, cherished viewer, for staying tuned. Now, we are going to start the book reading. They have 5 minutes to try as best as they can to finish the book they are holding. So, Rita, you tell us the title of your book and the author, and you start reading.
The title of my book is Jesus and the Burning Question. The author is Miss G. Story.
Okay, please start reading.
Chapter 1. Who is he? Who is he? This was the burning question among the Feast of Tabernacles pilgrims who had remained in Jerusalem this October morning. Who will dare? Whoever is he? They asked each other and they asked themselves. Everybody had an opinion to offer. Who is he? Oh yes, we know his name. It's Jesus. We know that, of course, we know that. But who is Jesus? The young man who called out at the temple at the climax, the most dramatic moment of the whole week's festivities, the water pouring ceremony on the great day of the feast. At Feast of Tabernacles, every year we plead with God, morning by morning, at the water pouring ceremony to send us rain during the coming year. They were always concentrating on water and rain and good crops, and pleading with God to make sure that there will be plenty of rain. And at the moment when the priest was pouring the water, this young man, Jesus, had the audacity to break the silence of that sacred moment by calling out, "Whoever is thirsty, let him come to me, and whoever believes in me, let him drink." Such unheard of behavior, calling out like this, and such a statement, it couldn't pass unnoticed. No, Jesus' words and behavior had caused an uproar, but the uproar must be controlled. Don't forget the soldiers watching from the Antonia fortress. The uproar had to be kept to an angry murmur, an undercurrent. Who on earth is this? A danger, I say. A man said, whatever, whoever he is, he's a danger. Ah, he's the prophet we wait for, the Messiah. I'm sure of it, said another man. Not a bit of it, said an angry third part. He's mad. Yes, he's mad, said yet another. Don't listen to him. He will delude you. Why don't you go and find out for yourself? The believer told them. Ask him who he is. As for me myself, I'm sure he's Messiah. Actually, he's teaching up at the temple treasury. This very moment, I saw him myself. I've just come from there. If only I didn't have to see a man in the city. I'd have to stay there all day listening to Jesus. Take my advice and listen to him for yourself. I think I will, said one of the men, and he made his way towards the treasury in the courts of women, where people brought their offerings. Jesus was surrounded on all sides by a crowd of listeners. Each listener's face wore a different expression: anger, incredulity, unbelief, skepticism, and I don't know whether to believe or not expression. There were sad faces here and there, almost the listeners, an eager look, and I wish I could believe. Look, but there were two fairly big boys of 13 or so sitting cross-legged at the front of the group. Their faces shone. They didn't take on every word he spoke. Those two boys fairly think something of Jesus. The man said to himself, I guess those two men sitting by them could be their dads. One man looked very nervous. His eyes were darting back and forth. He's looking round all the time. The other man looks more steady. Why, I do declare, he don't have his robes on today for sure. He's off duty, I guess, but I declare that man is one of the priests I saw on duty during the first feast. Who are you? We want to know. There it goes. Same question. You are all asking it. Who are you? After listening for a while, the man got up to leave. By now, he was more confused and upset than ever. As he went, he said to himself, well, I think I don't know what to think. I come again tomorrow. Some say he's mad. Some say he's bad. But he says he's the light of the world. He's sent from God. Even says he knew Abraham. And when they said to him, rubbish, you are not 50 yet. How could you know Abraham? He said he's around before Abraham was born. I wish I knew what to make of that. But some things he said made real sense.
Thank you, Rita, for the nice book reading. Now we'll go to the next person, which is Hannah. Hannah, can you tell us the author and the title of your book?
Jesus the Boy. A Miss Jane story. Chapter 1. A brilliant new star. They were writing the horoscope column for next week's newspaper in Persia. They had done it for years, consciously or unconsciously. What they wrote through the lives of thousands. They were novices, these astrologers. They knew a lot about a lot of things, science, philosophy, and they knew how people think. People looked up to them, treated them with reverence, and fear, at least hope. They were looked upon as magicians. People who could read the future delve into the past. Anybody who can read the future is respected, to say the least. These men of magic were noble-born aristocrats. They didn't have to toil in the manual sense of the word. They were set aside, or they set themselves aside for learning. They'd inherited from their parents. They were rich. They told people when to plant, when to sow, when to reap. Those who paid attention, and many did, were held in bondage to the horoscope. Gemini, Libra, Capricorn. Gaspar the president spoke up. Lately, Gaspar had been not quite with it, as if he had doubts. You just couldn't have doubts in this business and do the job properly. Gaspar spoke up. Here we are. We rule the lives of thousands of people by what we foretell. We have people tied up in bondage. Then in a bus, Gaspar said, I believe there's one great God, the Creator who loves the people He made. If people trust Him, they have nothing to fear. Gentlemen, forgive me. That is how I feel. That night, Gaspar couldn't sleep. He walked outside under the great dome of heaven thinking. His hands were clasped behind his back, and his eyes were fixed on the dark path he trod. Suddenly, he could see the path more clearly in a bright bluish light. Gaspar looked up. He saw a brilliant new light in the sky. Now he knew his part of the sky like the back of his hand, every star, every constellation. This new light was an instruction. It hadn't been there before. No, it hadn't been there before. It hadn't. Gaspar watched it, hanging there low in the eastern sky. Gradually, almost imperceptibly, it rose higher. Gaspar was transfixed for minutes. Then he said out loud, this is new. This is extraordinary. This is a message from the God I'm looking for. I must tell the others. Late as it was, Gaspar went to the homes of his colleagues. Sorry to wake you, he said, but you think it's worth it. Come, look. Soon all of the astrologers were standing outside the home of the last one to be welcomed. They stood silent, gazing at the amazing phenomenon, brilliant and blue, hanging in the sky. Said one eventually, 2 or 3 great stars might have joined together. At least their quarters have coincided, and now they appear as one great star. If that is so, said another, soon they will separate and go their several ways. They will be able to tell tomorrow night. I believe this is a message from the God I seek, said Gaspar. Tonight I will search the books by candlelight. Any one of you who wants to can search with me. Bed for me. Several said at once. Tomorrow, if the star is still there, I will search the books. Malchus said, I will search with you. Gaspar, it is the Romans who have proverbs. When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves tell forth of the death of princes. This star is not a death, too brilliant. It's a birth. We will search the books. I too will search with you, said Balthazar. A couple of the others insisted, then decided on bed. We'll investigate tomorrow, they said, but do tell us if you discover anything. Long into the night, the three astrologers set the scrolls and the clear tablets by candlelight, one or other going outside from time to time to keep track of the star. It was still there. As morning dawned, the stars set. New light came to the astrologers. They found nothing in their literature concerning their country, but they had discovered from books on the Jews that a king was expected to be born about now in Israel. In the morning, their eyes were bloodshot from tiredness and lack of sleep, but they called their colleagues to a gathering where they showed the prophecies. We must go, they said, and find him. Who will go? You who've done the research. It was agreed. A baby king of the Jews. We go to the palace in Jerusalem. Maybe King Herod has died. He's old. He's very sick in body. I've heard he's sick in mind now. A comfort to him perhaps to have an heir. He's married many times, about 10, and had many sons, but he has killed most of them, along with their mothers. This new son must be the one. We will set out at once. Oh, what about gifts?
Thank you, Hannah, for that interesting reading. Thank you, lovely viewers, for staying tuned. If you just tune in, you are watching the most interesting kids program about book reading, and I have my lovely kids for Swatis Montessori. Let's continue with our book reading. Now, Nana Roba, what's the title of your book and the author of it?
Chapter 1. Nothing ever happens here in Jericho. Nowadays, out Joe said miserable to his friend. Joe picked up a stone and threw it into the water of Elisha's spring. Splash! Nothing exciting has happened about here since John the Baptist crusade over there at the Jordan. Instead of pointing to the Jordan, Joe picked up another stone and threw it as far as he could in that direction. Way over there, he said. Yes, we had fun then. Joe, didn't we? Alf replied, catching locusts for the preacher's lunch and finding honeycomb for up amongst the rocks. And he was so nice to us, wasn't he? But Alf said sadly, I can't bear to think about our friend John the Baptist. Herod had him murdered. Herod and that awful new wife of his. Stop it, Alpheus. You are making me more miserable than I am. Joe said, throwing another stone to the water of Elisha's spring. Splash! What was still, if anything could be worse? Alf went on, paying no attention to his friend's remarks. I'm so afraid that Herod will get Jesus, our friend, next and kill him. Herod could not. Joe said, we believe that Jesus is Messiah, don't we? Herod could not kill him. God won't let him. Come on up, let's climb up the mountain over there that covers old Jericho. There was marvelous times here in the past, but nothing ever happens here now. Joe threw one last stone into Elisha's spring. Even this spring is history. Joe said the water was bad here in Prophet Elijah's time. So the town elders told Elijah about it, because he was the man of God. And Elisha said, give me some salt in a new bowl. The elders did,
And Elisha threw the salt into the spring, and the water has been good and pure ever since. That was years and years ago, and the water is still pure. Joe, you should have thrown stones into pure, good water. Oh, I'm just bored because nothing exciting happens here anymore. It is dull even around here. Nowadays, Joe said, this time kicking a stone. Oh, come off it, Joe. Alf said as the two boys turned their steps in the direction of the huge mound of man that everybody covered the old city, old Jericho, buried under there. Joe said, pointing, had wonderful things happened to it, and I wish being of Joshua. Soldiers so much around the city outside it was every day for 6 days, and then 7 times on the 7th day, and I have loved to blow loud trumpets, blast on my trumpet, and watch the great thick walls fall down flat. Crash, bang! I have blown my trumpet had like sticks. Joe took a homemade whistle off his porch. Boys carried all kinds of old and end in their porches. The porch was made by folding the materials of the white tunic over the belt, which was tightly faced around the waist. Joe blew a covering blast on his homemade whistle.
Thank you, Nanaba, for that interesting reading. Well, cherished viewers, I hope you enjoyed it. So, starting from Rita, what does the book talk about? Where you read?
It talks about everybody had an opinion to offer. They started murmuring about Jesus and who he was.
Okay, thank you. Well, the title of the book is Jesus and a Burning Question. And this question still exists today. There are lots of people who wonder who Jesus is currently. Let's go to the next person, Hannah.
I understand that when the 3 wise men heard that Jesus is going to be born, they were bringing gifts for him.
Wow. I know some of you might wonder why we give gifts to newborn babies. Well, it's biblical, and you heard it from the book. So if you give gifts to a newborn baby, well, I think it's a right step in the right direction. Let's go to
Jesus' friend was so afraid that King Herod will get Jesus and kill him.
lovely viewers. I hope you heard. He said a friend was afraid of another friend losing his life. We expect each and everyone to be as caring as he or she could. Thank you for staying tuned. Rita, what will you tell children and parents who are watching this program?
I want to tell them that they should make reading a habit to improve their academic.
Yes, Hannah, what will you tell parents?
I want to tell them that they should open their eyes to defeat the devil.
How about Nanava?
I want to tell them that they should open their ears so that they can hear the pronunciation of my words, so that they know the pronunciation.
Well, cherished viewers, I hope you enjoyed the program. It has been interesting and very, very educative. I hope you stay tuned next week. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.